Hello, you're watching Avenue X, and today I want to talk about a couple of dramas that have been airing during 2024 summer holiday slot in Chinese drama, and I will term them as 全部垮掉, all collapsed. And they collapsed for different reasons, and they collapsed to different levels. Some of them are still watchable, but subpar to any type of satisfactory standard that I would have, and some of them would be plainly embarrassing to exist in 2024. Now, I'm not saying there aren't watchable and actually okay dramas, but they don't do well at all. Some of them have finished airing, some are still on air, and I think parts of it is due to the fact that we have Olympic Games this summer and most people's attention got grabbed by the sports. In China, at least, that's the case domestically. Therefore, dramas that unfortunately ended up airing during Olympic Games time didn't get that much attention. I mean, even Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty, had it been airing missing the time of Olympic Games slot, it probably would do even better. If you are watching Chinese dramas right now, I would say, for example, these two IT dramas are actually watchable. The Interlaced Scene, which is a very short, case-breaking drama led by Ma Yili, Tong Dawei, Lan Yingying, Gao Zhiting. Overall, not a bad drama at all, but it's very short and it's just one case and it just doesn't outshine anything. So it aired, nobody is watching almost. I finished watching it. I would say if you like those leading actors, you can go check this one out. Probably wouldn't disappoint you, but probably would not surprise you in anything either. Also, a drama that has just finished airing, 36 episodes, as husband, as wife, Guo Jingfei, Yin Tao, Zhang Yunlong, Qi Xi. It's the type of drama once you start, and you will just naturally go to the next episode and you'll be constantly pleased by the very relaxed, occasionally almost like they're improvising on set style of acting and talking about a very typical big metropolis having relatively good incomes but still having a lot of troubles family. It's pretty well written once you start watching, but the drama has the problem, it's not a page-turner hooking drama, so you may stop it at any point and then forget to go back to. But it's still a pretty watchable drama. Like, these two dramas are not actually what I want to talk about today. We are gonna talk about three of them. One from Tencent, two from iQIYI. And in ascending order of how they offend me. So the first one I'm gonna mention will be the least offensive and most watchable among the three dramas, being the Tencent on air right now going on drama Liu Zhouji. This 40-episode period drama Are You the One, led by Zhang Wanyi and Wang Churan, based on an existing novel. I have watched 9 episodes and I probably would not continue watching it. I get very little pleasure out of watching it. But among the three dramas I'm gonna mention in this video, it's actually the best already. This is a fictional time setting period drama. Our female character has a really complicated past, but at the point when the story narrative starts, she's kind of already halfway of her entire character arc. We're gonna basically cut into the middle of the story and find out she's a very clever businesswoman, like a natural born manager, but she doesn't have memory, doesn't remember anything before she got married, and she thought a man as her husband, played by Zhang Wanyi in this drama, who is actually not her husband, who saved her from a river and then found she lost her memory, actually knowing who she is and trying to take advantage of the fact that she lost her memory, using her as a bait to get someone else bigger behind her, which she, at the time when the story starts, does not remember. So that's our story setup. You'll see basically a fake pair of husband and wife. The guy knows the truth, the girl doesn't, and they live together, and a lot of that is to do with their personal relationships, romance, the day in, day out husband-wife thing. As time goes on, she will figure out exactly who he is and what is going on, and also remember her past, like very late in the story. And then eventually things are gonna turn out to be fine. If they follow the original novel, it's all gonna be good and all the problems will be solved, and they are eventually sort of like meant for each other. I kind of vaguely know the setup of the story before I even got into it, but if I am somebody who's never read the original novel, knows nothing about the story setup, just goes into it blindly, it will be an extremely confusing drama to watch. Because like I said, it cuts in the middle of the story developing arc of our main character. And you'd think if you have this type of narrative, then very soon into the story, probably 1, 2, 3 episodes, the scriptwriter will start to put in information, give you more clues about, okay, so who is this woman really? Where did she come from? Why is she like this? Why is the guy like this? For you to very quickly set up your brain framework of who is the character, what's the relationship, what is the goal of the story. Because you need to know these things, right, to configure your situation in the drama. And guess what? I watched up to episode 6 and none of that has happened at that point. They really didn't bother to explain anything. No effort in putting into even just give you a little bit more information about what the heck is going on. You're just like hanging there. Nobody takes care of you. Nobody answers any questions you naturally would have about this narrative if you know nothing about its original IP. At some point, I couldn't bear it. I went on internet, searched for the original novel, tried to find out at least the summary of what happened. I had to read that. That's just like a really, to me, unsuccessful way of writing a story, is you make your audiences so impatient and not knowing what's going on that they had to go and check the books themselves instead of watch your drama. Like, you failed at telling stories by doing it that way. So I have that sort of defensive psychology coming up, and I just don't find the drama in any way any more attractive. Then, if just looking at technical aspects of this drama, right, there's another thing about this drama that makes it really hard for me to watch, which is its visual aesthetics is really poor. You will recognize a lot of sets are the classic sets where Chinese dramas are shot, and there are a couple of sets that are exactly the same set where they filmed Dream of Splendor. Exactly the same place. Like, you'll recognize them. It's that easy. Yet, if you compare these two dramas side by side, you're physically in the same space. You're very similarly time period. Although one is real history time period, one is fictional. Like, even the hairstyle is definitely evoking a Song Dynasty look. So you can say in the period storytelling setting, they're in the same place. Yet, if you look at basically how they dress up the set, how they use camera, how they frame the shot, how they deal with light, color, stark contrast of how poorly, ugly, and plain and bland Liu Zhouji looks like, and then in comparison, how much better Dream of Splendor looks. I'm just talking about two period dramas that happened pretty close to each other, only 2 years apart, shot in the same place, roughly the same kind of style. I blame it on what? On budget not being enough, or just on basically the crew is just not knowing what they're doing. Its lighting is particularly bad. Its color grading on the very yellowy side is visually very tiring. It's either too overexposed, too bright, the skin is like no texture left, or it's very yellow and very flat lighting. There are a couple of scenes that are very outstandingly badly lit, because you can clearly tell it is an exterior set, but it's shot in studio. And they fake the daylight, and they fake it so bad that it doesn't look like daylight. Look at this frame. That's like early, episode 1 or 2. I noticed that, and I got so taken out of the story. She is sitting exterior around the stone sort of table with a couple of other women, and it's no direct sunlight, so it's not like bright day, the light is hard on your face. It's all soft lighting, so it would be a cloudy day. But then look at how evenly and brightly she gets lit when she's actually sitting just at a table with two other women. It's not like those two women are two huge shower curtains. So how do you get that even flat light on yourself? It doesn't even separate her from the background that's very far away, so it creates this really odd, almost like I know it's shot in the real set, but it looks like green screened, and it's odd. Then they over skin smooth both Zhang Wanyi and Wang Churan to the point where their jawline just completely disappears. Wang Churan is skinny, tall, pretty, and then you skin smooth her to make her look like a seal, where you cannot tell the difference between her head and her neck. That is a really good idea. And then they skin smooth Zhang Wanyi also to the point where he looks like a paper person. Like, he has no three-dimensionality anymore. The whole face, neck is just one smooth patch of evened out, very pale skin color with dark eyebrows and eyes drawn on that. He looks like a paper person. And if there's any micro expression he managed to squeeze out on his very expressionless face to start with, then it still got completely erased by post-production, so you can't see anything. So that comes to the last problem that I have with this drama, is I don't get any cues and clues about these two characters through the two actors' performances. Of you hope this type of drama would have bit of constant pull and tug of romantic energy and power. They both suspect each other being somebody else, and then there's always that energy undercurrent of not fully trusting, but then having fun with it, wanting to fully like you, but then not really ready to do it. That energy needs to be played by, let's say, very good actors who can very finely tune their actions and expressions and understand the subtleties of these two characters, where they come from, and play it or play off each other. Unfortunately, on their own, they're already not doing that good a job of playing their role to make them look like a believable, full of detail and motive real people. And then when they act opposite each other, it's like zero chemistry. Nothing goes on between them. And also, sometimes even during the conversation of these two characters, you almost can feel when the camera is on the actor is acting. When the camera goes on to the other person, this person is like, okay, now I am in like standby mode. Switch off, wait for the other person finish speaking, and then I switch myself on. You know, imagine oatmeal, right? You're cooking a bowl of oatmeal and you put nothing in it. No salt, no sugar, nothing. Just oatmeal. That's what the drama feels like to me. Okay, there are people on the internet, I can see that they have positive response to this drama and they actually think it's enjoyable. And I'm like, okay, let me try it a bit more. So every time I go into a drama, I'm like really trying to switch on my brain and get what people get about this drama. And I tried it up to episode 9. I really cannot get anything. I tried very hard. I'm just being honest about my own response. If you happen to be somebody who can actually get it, well, it's good for you. At least you're not wasting your time. For me, I'm like, I've had enough. I probably will not go back to the drama. Anything else I want to complain about it? Or like its supporting roles, like those guys are just so forgettable, their face, or not good looking. Basically, it's an idol drama. You can't just have the leads looking okay. You probably need main supporting roles also looking good. And the girls are pretty, but the guys are like, also, I'm still PTSD from A Journey to Love, that character, right? So when he plays another role, I still get PTSD reaction. So this drama also creates a little bit problem for me too. Keep watching. Also, there's one last thing is I know Zhang Wanyi is trying to play a little bit comedic character in the drama at certain parts, at least, not always, but there's definitely intentionally written comedy scenes that's supposed to be played with that sort of comedy timing. Can we say just Zhang Wanyi doesn't have comedy timing? He really doesn't have it. And so when he tries to get funny or trying to play awkward or whatever, I can feel my room is filled with this deafening silence of embarrassment. A joke didn't get cracked. Or in Chinese, it's like it fell on the floor. Like I said, it's just me. And it's already the most watchable dramas among the 3 dramas I'm talking about in this video. So, next one is an iQIYI drama. It happened earlier. At the end of July, it aired. That's the 四海崇明 Love's Rebellion. A drama led by Zhang Linhe and Jing Tian. Fantasy, idol, period drama, typical stuff. 36 or 40 episodes, let me see. 36 episodes. It was initially basically an iQIYI drama that got partially sort of like divided and conquered by Mango. So they sold the rights to Mango. So Mango can air the drama too, so they share it. iQIYI this year is having a lot of volatile movement in their higher management. You can see it seeping out in a lot of things they do. I don't know exactly what's going on, but they're probably in a lot of trouble. Money-wise, probably that makes sense for them. Anyway, the drama is into its almost ending. Alright, I think right now it's like late 20s episodes, at least today, and then it's gonna finish airing next week. I watched up to episode 10 and I decided to quit. One of the biggest problems with this drama that stopped me from continuing watching is it's so slow. And all the events or plot the drama has is inconsequential. By, I think, episode 8, 9, 10, it's still at the first set where the drama happens, which is where our female lead is. She is this medical poison expert in this set where she basically lives with her mom, but she also belongs to this whole set, but she's not very welcomed by the other younger people, but then she kind of gets special treatment by the leader because her mother actually is a really powerful figure in this whole world setting, just hidden. Most people don't know her identity, whatever. So she has this really magical hut that's very beautifully set up, filled with props, very noisy and really cute. I love the production design for that place. It does look a lot more hard worked on than most of the average period idol drama land in China's stuff. But the thing is, the story location-wise starts there. And she's there and the male lead is escaping people's sort of hunting down of him. So he ended up there and she found him. It's like 36 episodes. So by a quarter mark of the whole thing, they're still there. They're just like every day they're in the hut, getting out of the hut, getting back into the hut, getting into the forest, coming back to the hut, go to the market, coming back to the hut. Literally, the hut is the whole world. There's nothing else going on. And every day it's just little trivial things going out hunting, going out buy things, like in the forest encounter people hunting them down. I save you, you save me, and you get poisoned, and I try to like it's just like constantly it just revolves around that tiny location and nothing else happens. By episode 8 or 9, I still know very little about exactly what the female lead is special about. You kind of know she has something powerful inside her she's not aware of, right? But exactly what that is, where she comes from, what is the, give me a clue. Like, I know the mother is powerful, but exactly, you know what? The guy is being wronged, yes, and he's trying to write his name, but exactly what happened, you know, like just give me more clue. Like Liu Zhouji, they kind of let you know, but kind of does not bother to tell you exactly. Immediately put all the emphasis on, okay, let's make the two leads interact. Because they assume audiences just want to look at the guy and the girl accidentally almost kissing, playing on each other with all types of silly jokes that looks like playing house and 8th graders' way of getting each other's attention. So by episode 9, I'm like, I'm so tired. Not even one thing feels like serious. Also, chemistry doesn't work between these two. I don't get any hormonal reactions between these two. Yes, it's a biological male, it's a biological female, both very good looking, put together, pleasant to look at, but is there anything going between them? Nope, nothing. If by a quarter mark, alright, for 36 episodes drama, it still hasn't happened, good luck for it to happen. You know, like for all the dramas that have worked, that's 36 episodes period, idol drama, think about everything you've seen so far. It needs to happen by episode 4. If it hasn't happened, it's not gonna happen. I'm like, I don't have all the time in the world, and so far I don't see what's worth watching about this drama, so I'm quitting. There's one more thing I mentioned when the drama first came out in my weekly video, which is the sound recording quality of this drama is just like really odd. They didn't dub the actors, and the actors' own voice performance, even though it's not like the best out there, it's acceptable, in my opinion, for idol period drama, but the quality of the recording is really bad. Whether you're listening to it just with the speaker on your iPad or your computer or whatever television, or if you're listening with headphones, you can tell that there's a lot of distortion. And it's almost sounding like at the point of recording, it's already messed up so that post-production cannot save it. Level of just like peaking here and there, and it's just really odd. And also the spatial quality of the recording gives you a very strong sense of a set. Like you can really hear the set spatial reverb going on that is really distracting for you to believe the imaginary story space they're trying to set up. Because you can hear it's a set, and it's a very set, and then it's actually a magical sort of whatever places that ideally you wouldn't have this type of sound quality, spatial quality. Anyway, it's really odd, and if you're sensitive to sound, you may find the drama for that reason hard to watch. That's another drama sort of sitting in the middle of the 3 dramas that I call collapsed. Then the final one is a truly collapsed one in every sense. Like there's nothing you can salvage from that one. It's a full flop, which is also on iQIYI, Guzhou, A Lonely Hero's Journey. It's an espionage drama set in 1941 Suzhou, very specific location and time, led by Zeng Shunxi, Zhang Songwen, Chen Duling, Wang Yuwen. These are the 4 main characters, and I probably have 乌鸦嘴, a crow, or raven's mouth. It's like whatever bad thing you say turns out to be true. I remember earlier this year when I said about 追风者, the iQIYI espionage drama led by Wang Yang, Wang Yibo, Li Qing, that I was really happy with. And I'm like, okay, so iQIYI this year has a couple more lined up, Mingguo setting, espionage drama, and I said, in terms of like the energy balance, if you have similar drama, similar category drama on the same platform in one year, usually one is gonna take all the energy and success, and the other 2 will just, you only have that much quota, right? And then if you use it up in one drama, then you don't have any left. And I was joking about that. But I think, unfortunately, it turned out to be true on A Lonely Hero's Journey. Another iQIYI drama, 2024, same time setting, espionage, and failed epically. So there are a couple of things about this drama that will immediately give you the signal that it's a bad drama. 36 episodes. Right now it's aired into already 20s numbers. Most people who would want to go into this drama would be attracted by the leading actors because it has Zhang Songwen. You know, he's a very good actor, and he's been doing a couple of highly influential and successful roles in the last couple of years on iQIYI actually, since the success of The Bad Kid, playing the father role, and then 2023 Huang Biao, playing in the fish selling mafia guy. So when he is attached to this drama, people would think, okay, that may mean it has high quality. At least we'll give it an opportunity or chance to see if it performs. And then you don't need any more time than the first episode to realize this is a crappy drama. It is an original script drama, and it's written by one of the directors. So one of the writers is also one of the directors, and I guess like they just think they're writing a really proper espionage drama, where in fact it just shows maybe if you don't have enough IQ, don't attempt on this genre. Apparently the people who are writing the script is just not having enough brain to figure out that everything they're writing does not make sense. It's just a live exhibition of the Dunning-Kruger effect thing in play, which is if you're not good enough, then you don't realize you're not good enough, therefore you think you're good enough, there you put it out and you think this is a good work, whereas everybody who has eyes can see stupidity playing in their face. This is what this drama is like. So I'll give you a couple of random examples to show you just how stupid the writer is really of this drama. Therefore they make every character stupid. For example, at the beginning of this drama, our main characters have this mission that they're going into this Chinese garden, rescue somebody, to find somebody, and it's actually a trap that's being set up for them, but they don't know, so they go there and then everybody dies apart from the male lead, female second, played by Wang Yuwen. Her task in the whole mission was to basically park her car outside of this garden and waiting. Once they go in, she starts counting to a number. Okay, they just give you an arbitrary number. If by this point we still haven't come out, then you drive away and you don't look back. So that's their plan. Okay, fine. And she definitely hears gunshot happening, so she knows things are going wrong in the garden. So as she's supposed to do, she should be waiting outside for a period of time. If nobody comes out, she runs away. The funny thing about that is they set it up as count to 60. It is 1941. You have watches already. You can just look at your watch and set a time of 30 seconds, 60 seconds, like that makes sense. If it's 60, then just say 60 seconds. And if once it's past 60 seconds, you go, you don't look back. But the drama says count to 60. So she literally doesn't look at a clock, doesn't look at a watch. She's in the car, she's just counting numbers. Now, how can you be sure your 60 is there 60? Like exactly how long is this 60? What if you're counting it every 3 seconds, one number? Then that's 180 seconds. What type of intelligence work would ever say count to 60 instead of say looking at the watch and say 60 seconds? I'm just saying. And that's just one tiny thing. The whole mission of going into that garden, everything about it is funny. Then there's a scene where the male lead got caught and then he's on this open back truck being shipped with other people, prisoners, to be taken to be shot. And so they're parading on the street. And the female second is his girlfriend. She first is still dressed the same way she dressed the night before when they were doing that mission, and she actually got seen by people. So basically the logical thing would be don't show up in the city anymore and hide yourself, cut your hair, change your clothing style, don't like walk into public crowd anymore because you may be recognized by agents, right? No, she is just still same hair, same hat, same coat, exact same look that she already got exposed the night before. And then she's on the street and watching the guy being pulled through on the truck. She literally is staring at him with tears, and the guy is looking at her with like very strong facial expression where everybody can see they're staring at each other like for 10 seconds. And she literally walks up to the truck and is like clearly recognizing who the guy is. And then while that is going on, all the other prisoners, all the other guards are like looking at them like in open daylight. And nobody did anything, and then they didn't find it's any problem, so they would just literally in public place acknowledge each other's presence, and for slow motion shot with that emotional stare. I'm like, oh my god. In reality, if you ever do that, you immediately get incarcerated and identified, and then boom, that's the end of both of your career as the undercover agent. And that's another tiny point. I will tell you, every scene in this drama has something that happening like this, that you don't even have to stop and think. You will literally go, but that does not make sense. Literally, every moment has anything to do with intelligence work and spies and undercover and moles and, you know, like trying to figure out who is who. Has this level of stupidity. I haven't seen a spy drama with this much stupidity. I don't know, for how long, ever since I started this channel? Now I feel really bad for Jung Sung-won. It doesn't even get to the point where you need to talk about whether he is doing a good acting for his role or anything, because the basic logic of this drama just fails catastrophically. That's like total collapse. Okay, so from Liu Zhouji, Are You the One? To 四海崇明, Love's Rebellion, to Guzhou, A Lonely Hero's Journey is like descending. Watchability and then ascending in ridiculous nature. And those are the three dramas that I have tested out in the recent 2 months and decided to no. I'd rather just sit there and zone out than watch those dramas. So this year so far, by almost end of August, for Chinese Dramaland, I'd say, even though it has Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty 2, which I really like, it's still not enough, and it's still overall really, really pathetic and really bad, and summer holiday slot this year is a definite total collapse. We do have a couple of dramas that have just aired or about to air, like right on the brink of happening right now. If any of them is worth talking about, I will. I do hope at least one or two. If not, well, I will still talk about why they're not worth your time. So I guess I win both ways. It's almost like all the good credits are so used up in Chinese Dramaland now, so that to get one drama like Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty, you have to suffer 20 A Lonely Hero's Journey to even out the dead, right? To basically cancel out the karma, whatever. It's a sad, sad situation. Well, that's an old song. Thank you for watching Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.